Hi, everyone. I'm Jack, and welcome to the show.
I'm Alina.
Today, we're going to be talking about failure and why successful people seem to like it.
Yeah, it sounds kind of strange maybe, but it's really important if you want to reach your goals.
I think a lot of people think that being successful means like never failing,
Right.
but that's not really true at all.
Yeah, a lot of people, they have a dream, but they don't reach it.
Why is
Well,
that?
they give up too easily, I think.
They fail once and that's it.
Yeah.
Give up.
But successful people, they think about failure in a different way.
So they kind of see it as like a
Yeah, like
setback.
a stepping stone. Oh,
Well,
success.
Denzel Washington, the actor,
Oh, yeah.
he has this great quote. He says, "Fall forward."
I love
What
that.
does that even mean?
Well, I think it means that even when you fail, you're still moving forward. You're learning something new each time.
It's like when you learn to ride a bike,
Right.
you're going to fall off a bunch of times.
Exactly.
But you keep trying, you get back on, and eventually you figure it out. So it's the same with anything you want to do. Failure is just a part of it.
It's part of the process.
So how can we kind of change the way we think about failure? Because most people see it as a really bad thing.
Yeah, most people are afraid of it, right?
Yeah.
What if we just saw it as a chance to learn something?
Okay, I like that. So failure is basically like when we don't meet an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to get a perfect score on a test,
Yeah.
but you don't.
It happens.
That's a failure to meet the expectation.
Right.
But it doesn't mean you are a failure as a person.
Exactly.
It just means you didn't reach a specific goal.
Mm-hmm.
So successful people, they kind of know this. They separate their idea of themselves from their failures.
Yes. They don't let one mistake define them as a person.
You really shouldn't let it define you.
Yeah.
Like scientists, they do experiments, right?
Yeah, all the time.
And they might have to try a lot of different things to get the result that they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And each time something doesn't work, they learn something new.
They use that to try again and get closer to what they're trying to do.
So it's kind of like instead of seeing failure as a step backwards, you're seeing it as progress.
It gets you closer to your goal, even though it doesn't feel like it.
This kind of reminds me of this doctor we were talking about, Dr. Marie Fang.
Oh, yeah, I like her.
Yeah, she talks a lot about mental health, and she's super successful.
Very successful.
And she's talking about when she was in college,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't do so well at first.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, she had to learn a new way to study.
Oh, so she kind of had to change her approach.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ended up being really successful.
Exactly.
So it's like her story shows us that failure can actually push you to do better.
It can be a motivator, yeah.
So sometimes you kind of need to fail to improve yourself.
I think so, yeah. It can push you to think differently and come up with a new way to succeed.
Makes you try harder.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, though. Not all failures are the same.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just make a mistake.
Like a silly mistake.
But other times it's like a much bigger lesson.
So, like, there's good failures and bad failures.
Well, I don't know if I'd say good failures, but yeah, there are failures you can really learn from.
What do you call those?
I guess you could call them intelligent failures.
Intelligent failures.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's like when you take a risk and you know you might not succeed,
Mm-hmm.
but you're okay with that because you know you'll learn from it no matter what.
Okay, so like an example.
Let's say you start a business
Okay.
and it fails.
Yeah.
Well, it's a failure, but it's also a chance to learn what went wrong so you can do better next time.
So that's like an intelligent failure.
Yeah, you learn something from it.
So successful people are always looking for those little lessons.
They want to learn from everything they do, even their mistakes.
So they're not afraid to try new things, even if they might fail.
They know that the more they fail, the more they learn.
And the closer they get to reaching their goals.
It all comes back to that.
This kind of goes back to Denzel Washington again.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we were talking about him earlier?
Yeah. Fall forward.
Yeah. So he said this other thing that I thought was really interesting. He said you should love what you do more than you fear failure.
Oh, that's good.
He learned that from this older man named Robert, who just loved to walk.
He just liked to walk.
He loved it. And he wasn't afraid of falling because he loved it so much.
Wow.
And I think that's such a good lesson for all of us.
Yeah, if you really enjoy something, you shouldn't be afraid to try it, even if you fail.
Because even if you don't succeed, you're still doing something that you love.
Exactly. And that's what really matters.
So how can we get better at dealing with failure, I guess?
I think it helps to think about all the really successful people who have failed. They didn't just give up.
They kept going.
Yeah, they kept trying and trying until they got where they wanted to be.
Like Thomas Edison.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to make a light bulb so many times
Thousands of times, right?
before he found a way to make it work.
Exactly.
And what about J.K. Rowling? Her first Harry Potter book.
A lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
It was rejected by like a ton of publishers.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't want to publish it.
Wow, but she didn't give up.
Nope, she kept trying.
And now look at her.
She's super successful.
So I guess these stories, they show us that failure, it's not the end.
It's just a part of life.
Part of the journey.
Yeah, and it's something that we can all learn from.
So failure can teach us good things.
Yeah, like resilience.
What's that?
It's like the ability to bounce back after something bad happens.
Okay,
Like, you get knocked down, but you get back up again.
I see.
And it can also make us more humble.
Humble.
Yeah, it means you don't think you're better than other people.
Oh, okay.
Because when you fail, it shows you that you're not perfect.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Exactly.
So the important thing is to learn from them.
And keep trying.
Don't give up.
Yeah, so next time you fail,
Don't get discouraged.
think of it as a chance to learn something new and get better.
Remember that failure, it's not the opposite of success.
It's a part of it.
And if we can kind of accept that and learn from our mistakes,
We can achieve anything we set our minds to.
well, thank you so much for joining us today.
It was great talking about this.
Yeah, it was really interesting, and I hope you learned something too.
And don't be afraid to fail.
We all do it.
It's part of life.